You're putting in 80-hour weeks, sacrificing your sleep and your weekends to finally pull ahead. Meanwhile, a rival in your exact field takes Fridays off, barely seems to work, and still achieves 10 times your revenue. Watching them effortlessly lap you builds a quiet, bitter resentment. You're following the rules and doing the heavy lifting, yet the results don't reflect the sacrifice. This happens because we are indoctrinated into a linear formula. Hard work equals success. We treat it like a universal law of physics. Operating under this broken formula guarantees a path to exhaustion. It forces you to row harder against a current you don't even realize is there. Grinding harder is a mathematically flawed response if the underlying formula governing your actions is broken. Social psychologists call this the just world fallacy. It's a cognitive bias where the brain assumes that actions inherently lead to morally fair consequences, that the universe is a place where people always get what they deserve. Cognitive behavioral therapy identifies this specifically as the fallacy of fairness. It's the error of trying to apply rigid, black-and-white societal rules to a reality that is actually highly subjective. This psychological scam keeps people trapped in a loop of false expectations, waiting for a reward the universe never promised to deliver. Escaping the loop requires learning the actual rules governing value, a system of asymmetric leverage. Expecting fairness is a psychological vulnerability, preventing you from seeing how the game is actually played. Many organizations project a presumed fairness through symbolic policies that maintain institutional stability. Behavioral research into dictator games shows that people often don't want to be fair, they just want to appear fair. In these experiments, dictators splitting money with a stranger behave generously only when the relationship between their actions and the outcome is completely transparent. This diagram illustrates moral wiggle room. When researchers blurred transparency, participants used the uncertainty to keep more money. Once introduced, selfish behavior doubled. Humans overwhelmingly chose the unfair option, hiding behind plausible deniability. This creates a legitimizing effect in the workplace. Research shows that the mere presence of diversity structures, like mission statements or awards, causes high-status group members to perceive a company as fair, even when hard data reveals systematic bias in promotions and pay. The appearance of fairness functions as a systemic tool to hide true inequality from the people doing the hardest work. Average workers focus on increasing their effort. Winners focus on increasing their leverage. This is the equation that governs reality. Effort multiplied by accumulated leverage equals reward. This creates a mathematical trap. If your leverage variable is 0, even massive effort multiplied by 0 results in a reward of 0. Sociologists refer to this as the Matthew effect, the law of accumulated advantage, where those who already have systemic favor continue to get more. Securing a tiny initial advantage, the favor of an algorithm, a network, or capital, forces the system to automatically multiply your growth for you. The people ahead of you are riding the compounding wave of the system itself. This systemic compounding is a fundamental law of human existence recognized for millennia. In Sanatan philosophy, this is prarabdha, the inescapable force of accumulated momentum. This concept dictates everyone enters the world at a different baseline, possessing entirely different starting velocities. That effortless success you see is the final payout of prior accumulated momentum. Comparing your individual starting line to someone else's final finish line is a complete delusion that ignores the absolute reality of momentum. Clinging to the fallacy of fairness acts as a leak, draining energy through useless, bitter comparisons. Discard the exhaustion of blind hustle. Stop waiting for a completely fair system that does not actually exist. Focus all future energy entirely on acquiring, building, and compounding your own systemic advantages. If you're ready to build your own multiplier, comment leverage below and subscribe to MindUnlock. The reality is, the world is fundamentally unfair, but fully accepting that fact is the very first step to building your own multiplier.